Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I take trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read them dramatically back to you, giving you like a motion movie of sorts. Today we're going to be continuing our storyline of the Green Lanterns. Now this one is long, so we're going to have to break it down into probably like 3 different parts. So today we're going to be starting with Green Lantern Dark Stars Rising. You see, after the events of DC Metal, what ended up happening was a lot of the wishes of our Justice League came true when they wore that like light 10th metal. And the Green Lanterns one was more justice in the universe or something along those lines, but it's led to the rise of the Dark Stars. So this storyline is going to bridge almost like 10 issues total, so we're going to break it down. This is Green Lantern versus the Dark Stars. In our last video, Hal and the Lanterns learned that Zod and his family had taken control of a planet and its inhabitants in an effort to rebuild his once good name. But as the Lanterns decided to put a stop to Zod's plan after capturing Hal Jordan, the Guardians of the Universe stepped in to stop the assault, claiming that Zod did nothing wrong. The inhabitants had followed Zod under their own free will, and the Lanterns have no right to step in, no matter Zod's true intention. As the forges burn bright in Sector 0001, a meeting being held by the last 7 controllers is taking place. Compared to them, their numbers cannot possibly match the forces of the Green Lanterns, but now they will meet them soldier to soldier, army for army. The campaign of the Dark Stars has begun. As Kellic inspects the first set of Dark Star suits, he says that it took them decades to perfect these new Dark Star mantles. They are far more indestructible and lethal than the previous generation. Most importantly, those who wear it will be under their control. It is time to make preparations for the Dark Star's deployment. Meanwhile, on the sentient planet of Mogo, Tomar 2 stands at the edge of his science cell asking Somar Lee, the one who received his ring after imprisonment, why does she still come? He's a convicted killer, stripped of his ring. The ring chose her. He has nothing more that he can give her. Somar Lee then says, how could he have done something so bad? You couldn't have had the right. You were a hero back on Zudar. Tomar 2 sighs, stating that he thought about all of the Zidarians Romar Daru murdered. Children like her, and he ended it. Heroes aren't these people who are better than everyone else. They are just like everyone else. Somar Lee yells, no! Heroes are better. If heroes won't be good, then who will? But before she can get an answer, Hal floats by telling her that that will be enough of the questions for today. It's time for you to get back to training with Kilowog. And Tomar 2 is right. Heroes are just like everyone else. They aren't better because they wear a uniform or a ring. Just like everyone else, they get to choose what kind of people they're going to be. They will make mistakes, but all they can do is use that experience to make them better. Somar Lee flies off stating that she'll remember that. And as she leaves, Hal looks at Tomar 2 telling them, even though he's on the other side of those bars, he still hasn't forgotten that they were friends. It takes a stand-up guy to own up to his own guilt in front of other people. Tomar 2 says that he feels guilty, yes. He felt guilt that his actions tarnished the name of his father and disappointed others. However, when it came to killing Romar Daru, he thinks of all the children that are still alive because of it, and if given the chance, he would burn him to ash all over again. Hal says that he can't mean that, and Tomar 2 tells him that the one thing that the science cell has blessed him with is clarity. He expected to come to think that his actions are wrong, but now he's more convinced about how right he was. Of all the vicious criminals that he has had a chance to interact with, why do the Green Lanterns allow any of them to live? Hal tells him because murder isn't justice, and Tomar 2 yells, it is the only justice! If we were to follow protocol and have brought him in, Romar Daru would have found a way to break out and kill again. My father was killed by Goldface, one of Earth's criminals. What happened with him? He got out just to commit more crimes. The universe is filthy. I did something dirty to make it cleaner, and if I was to ever get out, I would kill again. And I won't stop until every last killer is dead. You may not want to admit it, but it's true. The universe needs people like me. Back over in Space Sector 0001, Kellic gets ready to activate the Dark Stars, but something isn't right. Kellic rushes out to the production line to see one of the suits has already been activated, and it announces that it's currently seeking a suitable volunteer. Kellic tries to mentally control it, telling it to deactivate, but the suit says Dark Star 1 cannot comply. Kellic then shouts, you are a machine! You will obey me! But the suit holds out its arm, stating that the Dark Stars require his compliance. Your refusal is immaterial. Back on Mogo, Hal tells Tomar 2 that he has made a decision and he will not let it turn him. Tomar 2 says that this is who he is. Maybe it is always who he was, but then there's a bright red light as something appears in the science cell with Tomar 2. The Dark Star suit tells Tomar 2 that he is a suitable volunteer. Do you wish to invoice lethal justice with the Dark Stars? Tomar 2 pauses for a moment and says, yes. The Dark Star suit begins to break apart and attach itself to Tomar 2, and Hal rushes in stating, it's okay, I can help you through this, I can make this right. Once the suit finishes assembling, Tomar 2 hits Hal with a blast, telling him that he is already right. As Hal falls to the ground, Tomar 2 looks down and he tells him, Like I said, we get to choose what kind of people we become, and I choose this. After Tomar 2 fades away, Hal Jordan leans back up and radios to John that there's been an escape. John tells him that he's watching the holo display who helped Tomar 2 escape, and Hal says that he's not sure. It's something that he's never seen before, but he did say a word that they both know: Dark Stars. Days later, reports of murders begin to pour in, and John tells the Guardians that in the past 3 days, they have investigated 47 incidents across the sectors. Hal adds that it all started when the Dark Star suit took over Tomar 2, and now there are reports of multiple Dark Stars. When he was captured by General Zod, the Guardians were cautious about intervening, but this isn't the time for that. The power that Tomar 2 hit him with, well, if he hadn't been wearing his ring, Tomar 2 would have burned a hole right through him. And it damn near did anyway. The Guardians tell John and the others that they agree. The Dark Stars cannot be allowed to continue on as an execution squad. Build the needed forces to stop the threat. Seconds later, John leads a team of Lanterns out to Space Sector 0001. And as Guy looks at the planet, he says that it doesn't look all that bad. Kinda boring, actually. John tells Stell and Hanno to scout, but Stell doesn't say anything. John shouts into his ring asking Stell where they are, and Stell says, "I don't understand, we've returned to Mogo." Before John can ask why, several Dark Stars phase jump in, latching onto everyone and teleporting them away. As John shouts for everyone to fall back, he looks around asking, "Where is everyone?" And 2-6 tells him that they are one less number. Kyle yells, "It's Hal!" And John calls out to Hal asking, "Where is he?" As Hal appears in a room, he says that he's here, and it looks like he got jumped elsewhere. John tells him that they are on their way to get him, but as Hal looks up, he quickly tells them, "Don't. We're gonna need a much, much bigger team." He powers up his ring, shouting to the hundreds of Dark Star suits, "Who's first?" And Tomar 2 lowers himself down, stating that no one will fight him unless that's what he wants. Hal asks, "Tomar 2, come on, we're going home. I know that the Dark Star suit abducted you. It's not your fault. We can fix all of this." And Tomar 2 tells him, "No, I wasn't taken. None of us have done anything that we didn't want to do. We all chose this, Hal." Hal tells him that he can't accept any of this. This is the controllers talking. They're using the Dark Star suits to mess with your minds. Tomar 2 reaches out, touching Hal, telling him, "Oh, Hal, there's something that you must see." A few moments later, the two of them appear in another room with Hal shouting, "Enough jumping around!" Tomar 2 points, telling him, "We need to convince you that the controllers aren't the ones in control." Hal looks up and sees the remaining controllers all hooked into a machine. Tomar 2 goes on, stating, "The controllers work for us now. Their psionic powers link all of our suits together, and their cosmic energy fuels our foundry. Our numbers will continue to grow, with the suits deputizing all who wish for it. So many people have come and gone attempting to do what's right, and now it is the Dark Star's turn. There's even a mantle for you, if you choose." Hal looks at the suits and says, "No, I can't." And Tomar 2 takes Hal by the hand, telling him, "Perhaps in time you will. Until then, there's a message that you must deliver to the Green Lantern Corps, and hopefully they will listen." As Tomar 2 teleports the two of them back to Mogo, the rest of the Dark Stars come with, and John shouts to the Green Lanterns, "Get your rings ready!" Tomar 2 tells him it won't be necessary. They have come to inform him that they are safe for now. There are many criminals who need to be eliminated. The current laws and methods are ineffective. The criminals in the science cells will be left alone until their day of final justice comes, and when it does, you would be wise to stand aside. Kilowog and the others get ready to attack, but John stops them, asking Hal, "How many?" And Hal says, "More of them than us. A lot more." Tomar 2 looks at John, and John sighs, telling everyone to lower their rings, and anyone who does otherwise will have to deal with him. One by one, the Lanterns lower their rings, and Tomar 2 says that if the Green Lantern Corps attempts to interfere with them again, they will respond. And in a flash, all of the Dark Stars disappear. Kilowog says that he doesn't like this. "We had them right in front of us." And John tells him, "This isn't the time." Hal was inside and he saw the size of their force. And Hal then says, "We can't beat them without help." And Guy asks, "Who's gonna help us? We're cops. Everyone hates us." John grits his teeth, stating, "Hopefully all the people that hate us hate the Dark Stars more. So go to anyone who would have reason to join us against the Dark Stars. Do whatever it takes to convince them. It doesn't matter if it's friend or foe. Everyone has a stake in this fight." Later down on Earth, Hal sits over the skeletal remains of a person, telling his ring to scan the victim. The ring tells him that the victim has been identified as Keith Kenyon, also known as Goldface. Residual energy is consistent with a burst from a Dark Star mantle. Hal sighs, and a second later, Flash runs and asks him if there's anything he can help him with. And Hal looks back, stating, "Hey, Barry. Figured I'd run into you." Flash kneels down, looking at the body, stating, "It's a shame. Goldface had the heart to go straight. He just didn't. Who could have done something like this?" Hal tells him the murderer fled the planet. His ring picked up the killer's teleportation signature. It was an ex-Green Lantern, one named Tomar 2. Tomar 2 was serving a sentence in a science cell for executing a suspect that had already surrendered, and a week prior he had escaped. He started up a new intergalactic police force that's taking the law into their own hands. The Dark Stars skip the trial and jail time. They go right to killing. This could have all been prevented. And the Flash says that he really can't beat himself up. Hal then asks what kind of hero thinks about murdering murderers. And Flash tells him, every kind. I have the ability to run fast. I can go back in time and stop every crime before it happened. However, people deserve a chance not to act out those desires right up until the point that they don't. After a few moments, Flash says, wait, you're not on Earth just to investigate a murder, are you? And Hal tells him no. Right now, we don't have a choice. If we're going to survive this, we're going to need a few friends in low places. Meanwhile, on the planet Heap, a bouncer tells Guy that he needs to leave. He's been banned from the premises. As the bouncer holds his hand out, Guy creates a larger hand, pushing him back, telling him, I'm flattered, but that ain't happening. Guy takes a seat at the bar, telling him, beer me. And the bartender yells, forget it! Last time we served you and your friend, the bar was almost completely destroyed. Guy makes another giant hand, tapping the counter, telling the bar, beer me. The bartender leans over, placing a bottle down, and then suddenly everyone starts to run away. Guy looks over at Arkillo, says, you are taking a large risk meeting me like this. I wasn't planning on meeting you for our usual monthly beer o'clock. Guy reaches behind the counter, grabbing another bottle, stating that this is serious business, couldn't wait. Serious enough that it means that we get to team up again. Arkillo bites down on the bottle to drink it, and after finishing says, I'm listening. Guy tells him, I don't want to ask this, not with everything that's happened between the Greens and the Yellows, but I'm asking for help. There's a new crew in the scene, the Dark Stars. If we don't get our acts together, they might just take us all down. Over in translumal space, Kyle's ring tells him in 3, 2, 1, destination reached. Kyle stops and looks around at the empty space, asking the ring, where is it? Because there really isn't anything here. And a few seconds later, Cabby flies in on his taxi, calling out, that's the point! Kyle boards the cab, telling Guy told him that he could get him somewhere that would take more than just a space taxi to get to. And Cabby tells him, don't judge this old gal by the paint job, just take a gander out the window. Kyle looks and sees a mother box, asking, what is that? And Cabby tells him, it's the old gal's latest upgrade. Guy's gonna owe me big for this one. Cabby looks back at Kyle, asking if he's sure the guy is looking to owe him a favor. And Kyle rubs his head, stating, positive. Why? Outside of the taxi, the new Genesis god Orion's guards shout, by the order of Orion, Prince of the New Gods, surrender or be boarded. And Cabby says, oh, no reason. Back over in the planet of Jukul, John stands in the middle of the house of Zod. And Ursa yells that they should just kill him before he has a chance to speak. Zod tells her, I will handle the diplomacy. We did have an agreement with the Green Lanterns. Because of their unlawful acts of aggression towards the House of Zod, the Lanterns were forbidden from trespassing on this world. John says that they can both agree that they don't like this situation, but this is a matter of them joining forces. Zod jumps from his throne, shouting, you have miscalculated. You are alone against a family of Kryptonians. John pulls back his fist, telling his ring to execute package, codename Fist Bump. He then punches into Zod's hand, and it crushes. Ursa and the others jump into action towards John, but Zod laughs, telling everyone to back away from him. His weapon was no mere hard light construct, it's kryptonite. John takes off the kryptonite knuckles, asking, are you listening now? Back on Earth at Stryker's Island Penitentiary, Hal walks into the holding room of Hector Hammond, telling the doctor that he is here to make sure that Hector is secure. The doctor says that they are Star Labs and they can guarantee that Hector Hammond poses no threat. He's been unconscious with an array of sedatives. Hal tells them good. He'll be a few minutes while he wraps up his report, and the doctor leaves, stating that if he needs anything, please let her know. Once the doctor leaves, Hal looks back and tells Hector that the Green Lanterns need his help, and he begins snipping all of the wires connected to Hector. With the last one cut, Hal is hit in the back with a blast, and a man with a flaming skull walks in, stating, bad news, Greenhorn! Atomic Skull is the boss turnkey here! Inmate Hammond is not going anywhere. You are now under arrest. And there you have it, guys. The Green Lanterns are back right here on the Comic Historian channel, and we're going to be continuing the story next week. So make sure that you subscribe to our channel so you can see what's going on with this storyline next week. And don't forget, guys, if you are watching this and you're going to be up in Philadelphia this weekend, we're all going to be there at Keystone Comic-Con. So come hang out with us by, coming over there. We'll be doing stuff on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll be all over the place. And if you're watching this right now, we also like to stream things over on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/EligibleMonster. There you can find us streaming Elder Scrolls Online, Warframe, and like 5 different podcasts, which you can also get on our Patreon, patreon.com/comicstorian. I know I got a lot of stuff to talk to you guys about, but thank you so much for hanging out and listening to me. I like to ramble, and I really appreciate you all being here. All right, finger guns. I'll see you later. Stole that from Dan.